No use hiding. No use hiding. Here we are in Wales, in Cardiff, at the demo arranged by Pedo Hunters and Joseph and Bobby Blair. A demo that they arranged because of the abuse and the corruption that is going on in our once great nation. Sadly I was over an hour late, so I haven't been able to show you some of the speeches, but the speeches are still going on. I will also be speaking in a moment. It's the rain's just come down, the hailstones have just come down, so most of us have moved undercover, but we're here supporting the great Joseph and Bobby Blair, who's here now. There you go. There's Joseph. Where's
Bobby's up in the toilet.
Oh, he's about somewhere. So Joseph has just been talking. And be proud of it yourself, everyone here today, because it shows you care for the children. Yeah? That's the basis of it. Yeah, the children.
And we all care about you, Tracy, about George, Harry and George. Yeah? We're all together united on this. Yeah? And it's about exposing it all for what it is. All the wrongs. And that's why people like us, like Tracy, like everybody, that's why we do what we do. It's about exposing the corrupt to make it right. And we need to make it right in this country. Because if we don't, what kind of country are we going to live in? Where child abuse is acceptable. Where mowing people down, innocent children, is just going to be one of the fads. No. We need the truth out there. And we need to expose it. And we've all been exposing it for years. Now, we hold the government accountable. We hold the police accountable. We hold the councils accountable. We've had enough, and we want the answers now.
Thank you. Firstly, thank you to the organisers, Paul and Phil and Joseph and Bobby, for having me here and speaking today. It's very humbling for me to actually be here in Wales and speak here today, as my grandfather was Welsh. He was also a Welsh guard. He came from Port Talbot, and about 14 years ago we managed to get his name on the epitaph in Neath. So the last name on that epitaph is Oliver James Jones, which was my granddad, so it was important for me to mention that firstly while I'm here in Wales. I've been speaking out for the last 2 years at various demonstrations across the country as a mother, and on the streets in London as a yellow vest, along with other ordinary people standing up, saying no more to the tolerance and being tolerant to the intolerance. That we of people have been suffering at the hands of our tyrannous, uncaring establishment, because that's what they are. My journey began on the 26th of the 1st, 2018, when my son Josh and his two best friends, Harry and George, were murdered in Hayes in West London. From the moment, or just before that moment, the police, the CPS and the judiciary and the mainstream media, so it's very apt to be outside the BBC because they was one of them, conspired to cover up their murders, 3 children. On seeing how we was treated as families and how our 3 boys were treated, the contempt towards us from the system that I thought was there to protect us, I soon realised they was not there for us at all. Our children were just treated like collateral damage, and we were treated like we were a hindrance because we was asking so many questions. They hardly answered any, and the ones they did answer, they answered with lies. Sorry, my glasses are all wet now. I knew I had to get out onto the streets and somehow inform the people of the corruption, the miscarriage of justice, and the fact that our children had been murdered and was not a tragic accident like they was all reporting. I stood there in the court and thought, if they've done this to us, how many families have they done this to? I never dreamed when I first come out and started speaking out, how many families along the way I would meet. How many people were in pain and suffering? How many people? And just how many injustices there really were in this country. I could feel those people's pain as well as my own. I could see it in their faces like I can see it now. I felt a great sense of responsibility, not just to fight for justice for Josh, Harry and George, but also to fight for the rest of the children and people of the country. There is no greater evil than those willing to hurt innocent children and those who are assisting in covering up the crimes towards those children. We have to face facts and ask ourselves questions of why do the police assist in covering up murders? Why are they allowing the abuse of our children? The majority of the police are traitors to the people, that's a fact. That they are the government's dogs. That's what the government call them themselves, just like the government call us their cattle. The police are on the side of their pensions and benefits and follow orders from a rogue regime, even to the detrimental effect of their own children's future. Yet they are also the establishment's cannon fodder at the same time. There is no war on crime in this country. There is only war against the people. They are pushing for civil war. Ordinary people across the world are already standing up. The politicians, councils, the police, the CPS, the social services, the IOPC and the Welsh Assembly should all be awarded the white feather for their cowardly handling of the abuse and murders of our children. Each and every one of them. We are run by a government, globalist, tyrannous elites. And they are turning this once great land into hell. Growing up, I was taught to stand my ground, to not turn away, to not be afraid and to never back down. When I know what I'm doing is the right thing. To seek change, we have to demand change, demand justice, demand freedom and demand respect. No more acceptance, no more tolerance, no more pain, no more suffering, and certainly no more fear. We cannot sit in silence. We cannot ignore what's going on. We was once a great civilization. We were proud and self-confident. We knew who we were. If anyone raised their hands against us, our soldiers struck them down. Even those wars were built on lies, as we know now. However, our soldiers were unaware of that before. Now those who are raising their hands towards us, that are our enemy, is the political class and the ones behind them. The Houses of Commons is meant for the commoners, not the rich who favour power and money over the safety of the children, the people of the country, and who clearly do not work for us but for themselves and their pocket. We must stand up to them. We must get off our knees. We must restore our honour. We must find ourselves again. As people, remember our strength, our bravery and our courage that is in all of us to do this. To those who can hear me and who are listening, I will say to you, do not despair. The misery that the corrupt has put is upon us is the passing of what they think they can get away with. And the power they took from us, the people, can return to the people. If we do this collectively, the next generation and the generations that will follow will live in a far better place and a safer place than we live now. We can change this country for the better. The solution. Everyone wants a solution. Know that we have a constitution. Know that we have rights. And know that you can revoke your consent. And that you do not consent to what they are doing to us and the children. Learn what is lawful against what their legal fraud is, which is what they are using on us. Learn it. Know that an act of parliament is only governed by consent, so do not consent. And never say you understand when they ask you if you understand. Use the law. Use the law. That's how we fight back, using the law that was put there to protect us, because right now they are eroding it in front of our very eyes. No matter how hard they try to stifle your voice, use it, because the truth is still the truth. We have been deceived and failed for far too long. No more. We fight back now, lawfully. We shall overcome, and justice will be done, because we never surrender. Never.
All around the country. You all know it. Let's do it. Judge John Janney, justice all free. I just don't think you understand. We are the voice of noise, voice of clear voice, and now we're gonna share.